YouTube, my kings, what's good with my people? It's your boy again, Solo the Love God, Solo the Glow, Solo the Chosen One, Solo Bucci Speaks, back again with another one. We've been called, we've been chosen, we answered, and we're never gonna stop on this journey. In 2 days' time, I'm going to be celebrating my 29th birthday, and I want to just give a message. I just want to drop a video. This video is going to be long, but I assure you it's going to bless you. Okay, that's on Wednesday the 26th of March 2025. I'm going to be 29 years old, and I'm not going to be celebrating with any friends. I'm going to be celebrating all by myself. That is what happens when you're on semen retention. Semen retention, it has a way of always making you high vibrational, and you're going to lose a lot of people. So it's a lonely part. Okay, if you're practicing semen retention and this video resonates with you, please go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. So I wanted to give a message on this video, and I titled this message "What I Learned from My Failed Relationship." What I learned from my failed relationship. I used to be in a relationship, with a girl. I loved her so much. She was the love of my life. Our relationship lasted for about 5 to 6 years, So these are certain things that I realized, because then I didn't know I was a chosen one. I knew I was special. I knew that there was something special about me, but most of the things that I know now, I never knew them. For example, I never knew about semen retention. I only knew about semen retention last year, September. That's really 24th September until this moment. But this is a girl I met in 2017, and we broke up in 2023. So I'm making this message because I've learned a lot. I've learned from my mistakes and I've grown, and I want other people out there to also learn from my mistake. Now I want you to understand that if you're a chosen one, you cannot afford to live the way other people live. There are certain things you can't do. There are certain places you can't go. There's a certain kind of lifestyle you can't live because you're a chosen one. You are God's own. Are you with me? You are not an ordinary person. If you try to do what other people are doing, you will not succeed in it. Be it financially, be it physically, be it relationship-wise, you will fail. Okay, that's just an introduction. You cannot afford to live life the way everybody lives. As a chosen one, you are called, you are set apart to live a very unique life, a life that is totally different from the norm. Like, it's totally different. Your life is going to be a strange life. Are you with me? Now, one of the things I discovered, in my failed relationship with the person I'm talking about that I loved for about 6 years, is that as a chosen one, you cannot fornicate. As a chosen one, you cannot sleep with a woman you love. Are you with me? You can only do that when you're married to her. It doesn't matter how much you love the woman. It doesn't matter how beautiful she is. It doesn't matter how much she loves you. But one mistake that I made was having premarital sex with the girl I was dating back then. Okay, and as a result of that, there were certain things that started happening in my relationship, because the truth was that we loved each other. Okay, the love was strong. She loved me. She was crazy about me. I was crazy about her. But one thing I noticed was that immediately we started becoming sexually intimate, certain things started happening in our relationship. Our love started going down, even though my love for her was still there. But I noticed her love for me started reducing. Her respect for me started going down. She didn't have respect for me anymore. She started disrespecting me. She wasn't listening to me anymore. She was stubborn. There are certain things that she just started doing. But when we were not intimate sexually, when we were not having sex and all that, she was respectful, she was humble, she was homely, she was submissive. You get it. So I want you to know that as a chosen one, if you're a chosen one and this video resonates with you, you're going to notice that when you have not become intimate sexually with the opposite sex, you're going to realize that they respect you. You're going to realize that they love you. You're going to realize that they fear you, they honor you. But as soon as you cross that boundary, especially when you are not yet married to this person, you're going to notice that you're going to begin to see a different side of them. They are going to change towards you. They are even going to cheat on you. Are you with me? Because that what makes your relationship very special with these people and very unique with these people is the fact that it is sexless and purely platonic in nature. Are you with me? So that's the first mistake that I made, and I don't intend making that kind of mistake again in the future when God sends me my chosen one. That's my chosen bride. Now, the second thing I realized happened to me was that, I became more attached to her. The more I had intimacy with her, the more attached I was to her, and the less attached she was to me. Now, the Bible made it very, very clear that we shouldn't have premarital sex, because he that sleeps with a harlot has become one with her. When you sleep with someone, we chosen ones who are very, very emotional people, who you sleep with, you're going to become emotionally connected to these people. There are guys, there are men out there that when they sleep with women, they are likely not going to bond with those women. Are you with me? It's going to be like a contract, or it's going to be as if they are just having fun. But you, as a chosen one, you can't just have casual sex. Are you with me? Because if you do it, automatically you are going to bond with that person, even if that person is not the right person for you. You are going to bond with that person because you are a spiritual person, and sex is more spiritual than physical. Forget about what they are showing you in the porn sites. Forget about what you are seeing in the movies, on social media. Sex is not just physical. Sex is very, very spiritual. 70%, I'm going to say 70% spiritual and 30% physical. Are you with me? So I noticed I was loving her the more, I was bonding with her the more, and she was hating me. The more I was loving her, the more she was hating me. The more my love for her was increasing, the more her love for me was decreasing. Are you with me? That was one of the things I noticed in my relationship of 5 to 6 years. Okay, so that's one of the things I noticed, which all boils down to the fact that I was not practicing semen retention then, because if I knew better, there are certain mistakes I wouldn't have made. Are you with me now? The third thing I noticed in my past failed relationship is that I was drying up, okay, because I was losing my sexual energy. Your semen is your life force as a man. Are you with me? So one thing I noticed was that she was glowing. She was glowing because I was releasing into her. She was taking my energy. She was taking my life force. So I was drying up. I was getting drained. She was looking good. She was glowing. She was shining. She was always happy. But most of the times I was always depressed. I was always down. I was always, like I wasn't complete. I felt so empty. I felt like I couldn't survive without her. I felt that she was my life. I felt like she was my everything. I became too addicted and too obsessed with her. Why? Because I was releasing my energy to her. But she was she didn't need me. She was practically in control. She was in charge. She wasn't as worried as losing me as I was worried as losing her. You know, she could stay for days without calling me, while I couldn't even stay for a few minutes without calling her. You know, I was so addicted, you know, to this lady. Why? Because I was releasing everything. I was releasing my life force, okay, releasing my energy, releasing my energy. Okay, sorry about that. I was distracted by a neighbor. Okay, so as I was saying, I felt like I couldn't live without her because I was empty. What made me complete, what made me a man, I was releasing it to her constantly, all in the name of um, sex and relationship. So another thing I realized was that I was a simp. Okay, I was a simp. I simped for her. I was always begging. There were countless times she broke up with me. There were countless times she didn't want the relationship anymore. But I ended up begging. I was always begging her. Any moment she told me that she didn't want the relationship anymore, I would always go and beg. I always wanted to see her. I always wanted to spend time with her. I know every single thing that I ended up displeasing myself just because I wanted to make her happy. I became a simp. I was a simp. But like I said, these were things that I did in the past before I came across male retention and I discovered who I really am. If you read what is written on this picture, it says in male retention, the true path to self-discovery. Like I said, I knew I was special then, but I never really knew, I didn't know about male retention. Okay, so that was one of the things I discovered. So many things, no, so many things. So these are the few things I feel like I could. Hey, yes. Furthermore, let me just use this to summarize. This is my last point, even though there are many, but these are just the main ones, the main points. I I discovered that I was afraid to let go. She was toxic. The relationship became toxic. you know like it was obvious that she didn't love me anymore. There were certain things I was seeing that she was portraying. She was disrespecting me. She wasn't making her time for me. She was stressing me. She became abusive, nonchalant attitude and everything. But just because I didn't want to be alone, and I had become a simp, and I had released what made me a man, which is my seed, which is my semen. It ended up affecting me badly. So she ended up being the one who ended the relationship instead of me to end the relationship. One thing you're going to realize is that when you're semen retention, you are the one who ends up cutting people off. Are you with me? It's your responsibility. You are the one who ends up cutting toxic people off. But back then, when I was always releasing my seed with this girl, she was the one that was cutting me off. And I was always the one that was always running to beg, even when she was the one that offended me and it wasn't my fault. I was to be the one that would go and beg for forgiveness. Like it was a miserable life. So I was just thinking about, my life. I was just reflecting, considering the fact that, like I said in the beginning of this video, in 2 days' time, I'm going to be clocking 29. And, this was a girl that I met, I think, at the age of 22. And we broke up when I was 26 years old. So she was the love of my life. So I ended up regretting certain mistakes that I made then, and I wish that I could do better. However, I have made a vow to myself that in my next relationship, with that chosen someone, with that special someone who I know the universe is preparing for me, that all these mistakes that I made in the past, I'm not going to repeat those mistakes again. And then I got led to also share my experiences with you. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and then subscribe to the channel, and can go ahead and drop a comment if you had the patience enough to listen to this point. Okay, like I said, We are not dogs, we're simply gods. And if you are not holding to your seed, if you're not practicing semen retention, you're really missing a lot. You can't be the best version of yourself. You can't be the best version of yourself as a man if you are always releasing, if you're always watching porn. I'm telling you, life is way better when you practice semen retention and when you are holding to your life force, which is your semen. We are the chosen ones. We've been called, we've been chosen, we answered, and we're never going to stop on this journey. We are peaceful, we're powerful, and we're touchable. I'll see you some other time. Bye.